Sometimes when you're home by yourself, you want to put the party music on.
It's a real thing.
It's a real thing, and you need to feel good, and you need to feel that energy because you need to get moving a little bit.
You got to throw those hips around.
Absolutely. I was blasting the pop music. Car. Just absolutely blasting it.
What were you playing?
Carly Rae, because that's always the go-to.
Okay.
Unapologetic Carly Rae Jepsen fan.
Sick and tired of hearing all these noises in my head. I can't seem to make them go away. Sick and tired of hearing you say I'm already in here. When you gonna get up and go away?
I don't know that I've ever changed in front of you before.
Oh, that can't be true.
I mean, it is shocking to say it out loud, but I don't know that I have.
I know that you have. You probably don't know that you have.
I just got a very strange.
But I know that you have.
I was gonna say I just got a very strange erection I'm not familiar with. It's very good.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Bad Idea Social Club. My name is Aaron McCall.
And I'm Joe Madison.
This time we packed up the gear and made our way to see Joel Hoekstra. Joel co-owns Meyer Music here in Grand Rapids and is wildly passionate about the impact of music education, but he's also a chef of sorts. He doesn't work at a restaurant or anything like that. He does it for the love of the game. We actually set up in his kitchen so he could show off a bit while we chatted. We talked a lot about the commonalities and parallels between music and food and how they contribute to the fabric of who somebody is and how they experience the world. But you know what I think is really interesting, Joe?
Yeah.
When I have these conversations, it's usually just me and whoever I'm talking to.
Okay.
Nobody else in the room.
Yeah.
But it seems to me that when there's a nice meal on the table or something delicious to be consumed, look who shows up, just happy as shit to be there.
I'm a straight up rodent. I'm an opportunist. If there's food laying out, I'm going to pull up and I'm going to do something to help, but I'm going to be there. I got to say, I love that about us. Very excited to fill that role. No, that point of those two things being interconnected had me really thinking back and going back to like the very beginning of me getting involved with those two. I'll call them hobbies, but I know there's so much deeper and it's more than that. I used to stay up late to watch Food Network, Emeril Lagasse specifically. And then I used to wake up early to catch as many music videos as I could before school. So I would condense my sleep window just so I could get as much Food Network and as much music video as I could. And I think that really, like you said, I think that deep rooted into my psyche.
Yeah. I mean, it has to, right?
Yeah.
For me growing up, food wasn't necessarily like an experience thing, right? Until my grandma and grandpa on my mom's side got really serious. You know what I mean? Yeah. Christmas morning or any time they would show up for food, it was like they fucking showed up.
That's cool.
But music was celebrated around my house, and
your house celebrated music for sure.
Oh, and so did yours, you know?
Yeah.
I think my relationship with music is not just that it even today, it works its way into every single thing I do. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The only time that I don't have music on is if we're doing this, because it's going to make editing a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, right.
You know?
But you're still a little bit itchy.
I'm still a little bit itchy for it. I want to bop a little.
You should have one AirPod in under your headphone. Yeah. I think I just came up with a good fucking idea.
I don't think you did.
I'm all out of love. I was
are you listening to Air Supply?
Before we dive in, don't forget to follow wherever you're listening. Leave a 5-star review and don't forget to tell your friends.
Also, this thing runs on merch sales, listener support, and reviews. So please head over to Bad Idea Social Club, pick up a t-shirt. Shipping is always free. Done with my spiel. Here's my conversation with Joel. I like your vagina rag.
These are oysters.
Oh,
thank you. Which are shockingly like vaginas. Sweet in a good way, kind of salty in a good way.
If you can get a little horseradish in there, perfection.
Yeah, a little mignette or whatever. I don't know
what that means.
It's the shallot vinegar mix.
Do you still have like the dream of
The oyster bar?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that. Ask me those questions.
Okay.
There is a dream. It has changed to a logical one. Are we actually doing this now?
It's been recording this whole time.
Yes. Again, edit out. Remember, it's work related.
I got you, baby.
And also, welcome to my house.
Yeah. Thank you for having us.
I'm glad I can cook you dinner. It makes me really happy to do so. And it's fun to do it with the podcast. So what are the long-term vision of what do I want to do when it relates to food? I would like to have something where I can remain creative. And I don't see a day-to-day restaurant giving me that room. I have so much respect for people who own restaurants because they pretty much have to live by a couple factors. What does the customer want? So, right, you got to cook certain things that are going to move and sell. And then you got to live also in a practical space where you got to buy product that's price points and things that are actually going to work. And maybe there's like a number of things that you can or cannot do. So, in general, a restaurant to me doesn't feel like I could stretch my legs very much. And then the next layer is just the realities of staffing and dealing with.
Yeah, you don't actually want to run a business. You just want to make.
No, I'm doing that currently, right?
Yeah, right.
I already know what that looks like, and I'm currently very blessed to work in one that, generally speaking, is favorable hours. 9 to 5 is a pretty normal work day, and you own a restaurant. You're the inverse. You're going to be running it when people want to be out. And that's when I want to be out. But the creative outlet, I think, and I've been having a lot of fun doing this, is the side work of, it's not even work, it's just having the opportunity to cook for people. People have been asking me to do some dinners or doing a graduation party or some things where I get a lot of joy out of that because, one, I can get an idea of what they want and then I can stretch my legs on it a little bit and make food that's exciting to me. Maybe add a little flair. We did a graduation party for super good friends and able to make, not just a barbecue sauce, but why not 3? Why not just do a bunch and just see?
You're a sauce guy.
I'm a sauce guy and see if any of them stick or if people really like them and it's fun because you get to try different things. You don't have to worry about did the inventory turn? Did you make a good financial decision?
Right.
That sort of space. So
it can be about the craft.
That's right. And having fun with it. And I enjoy having the opportunity to be creative in that sense.
Well, it's funny.
And it wasn't how I cooked early in my life.
No?
Not necessarily. I think
tell me that
you got to build up enough skill set where you feel good about it. And if you don't have the confidence that you're going to go in the right direction, you're going to probably have some stuff that tastes wrong and weird.
Sure.
One of my really early ones that I can think of, always super inspired by Rick Bayless, PBS show. Maybe you've seen it or not. He had his PBS show about his travels through Mexico, his restaurants in Chicago. You see the Frontera stuff at Meyer, etc.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Huge empire of food, right? So Rick Bayless had some cookbooks of his early on, and he had some cool dishes that I just love making. And I was like, what if I made that into a pizza? What if I took this stuff and I made it into a pizza? And I did it, and it was almost inedible. Like painfully spicy, which made no sense because I'd made it as a salsa and then I used it as a sauce and it was like, it's all wrong now. And you just don't know until you try some of that stuff and you realize the ratios have to be the ratios. They have to be sustained.
Yeah.
And you just can't kind of flow with things until you have a pretty good idea of what works well and how much of each thing is going to have to be needed to work well. And you also still have to be willing to take some risks and be like, that didn't work out at all.
Can you pinpoint the moment that you realized that food was the avenue where you wanted to put your creative energy?
I don't know if I ever had a good avenue for my creative energy. And so once it started to develop, that was just a really enjoyable process. Mid-20s, 30s, probably.
Yeah.
Just really started looking at food differently, probably to a point of everywhere I went, every time I ate, just really interested in what people were doing, how it tasted different, ingredient options. And then over time, I just really enjoyed making food at home, testing that. And what I've found, and this is definitely true for me on a creative outlet or just maybe just on how do I put that? Like a release, that necessary release, the opposite of work, right?
Yeah, right.
Like just that flow state where you can enjoy things is I don't like cooking a recipe. I don't think that means I believe recipes are wrong. They're a recipe for a reason. They probably are the best way to make something, but I don't personally like cooking that way because for me it binds me back in and I can't get into a comfortable flow state.
Right. So you need a little bit of flexibility. You need a little bit of room to breathe.
I got to know enough about what's going on in my sequences to just kind of have it in my own psyche.
Yeah.
And it took me like 15 years of cooking to get there.
Really?
Probably. That seems about right. Yeah. So like 8-9 years ago, it really started to click where I could cook without having a book open or referencing my phone. And I think that was a big shift for me where it really started to become more enjoyable. And then I could let creative energy kind of take over and I could design plates differently and I could think about the layers because I wasn't really trying to follow something. I was just in it thinking about what I wanted to do.
Yeah, man, I feel like when I kind of think about you, I think food and I think music, right? Because you own Meyer Music. Is it based out of Grand Rapids?
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
Our store location where we use as our address is in Grand Rapids, and it's always a tricky company because we service schools all over the state. So yes, if you want to go visit our retail store, we're in Grand Rapids, and a number of our families love to take advantage of that opportunity. But really, we're a store to school service operation. So over the years, I became the owner of the company in 2018, and alongside our co-owner, we developed a model where we'd always been school music specialists, but we really just took that to another level. We got rid of a couple things, even though we like those things. I mean, for example, I play guitar personally, but we no longer sell guitars or what in our industry we call combo equipment. That's the drums, more of the rock and roll type music.
Sure.
We no longer sell those. We didn't feel like we're good at it. I like being good at stuff. So does our team. And so as we were geared towards more that band and orchestra side, we got rid of that product. We got rid of the private lessons in our buildings.
Oh, interesting.
Not because any of us wanted to see lessons change. We almost every single one of us, myself included, took private lessons while we were students in school. But again, we didn't feel like that was our best space. We didn't feel like we could be the best and the experts at it. So we opted to move away from that. So we became school music specialists to the best possible way we could. The vast majority of our business happens outside of our building. So I like the question of where do you do your business? Like, well, our business is located in Grand Rapids, but we service schools down to St. Joe in the southwest, Monroe in the southeast.
No kidding.
All the way up to Manistee, Cadillac in the north. And most of our schools that we work with are in the greater Grand Rapids area. But we're servicing schools all over the state of Michigan. And we really are passionate about taking our energy, our love of music, putting it in your community, giving you the best chance to make music in your school where your teacher is working so hard to make that a possibility.
Man, what do you think that means to those kids who you are kind of supplying access to music and music education to?
And as a former student, I don't think they realize how unique it is.
Yeah.
How about that for a thought process? We almost don't realize what we have because we have no alternative view. So one of the things that I think is very important in the United States, we have music as part of our curricular day. We are pretty much the only place in the world that does this, where we have music part of the school day. Most other places, they're going to have music outside of the school day. You take private lessons or you work with a tutor or something like that. We've decided, and I think this is exceptional, no, part of our day, we're going to make music.
Yeah.
If you sign up for this class. So it could be band, it could be orchestra if your school has one, or it could be choir. It could be even physical arts. I'm going to add that in there, right? The art classes.
Yeah.
We're making that curricular in the United States, which I think is amazing, but it's not an accident. So to answer your question, I think most kids don't think much of it because they're like, yeah, cool, I do this and it's part of my school day. We have done a great job of making it an expectation that this is something that students can access. But I can tell you that's not an accident. It's not something we can take for granted. We have to fight for this all the time.
And why do you think music education and I guess arts education overall, why do you think it has to keep justifying itself?
I don't think we often recognize the relationship between how the human brain works and the role art plays. We want everyone to be good at math and science. Understandably, we have concerns that if we fall behind in one of those categories, we're not prepared for our best selves. But I think we take for granted what role music plays in helping with that development. I was actually pretty shocked. I was kind of came in again, part probably due to I follow a lot of things in education. There was an individual, as a doctor, he was reporting to the Senate. I want to say Senate, double check that. But his whole conversation with the committee he was reporting to is that for the first time in their research, this generation has less cognitive skill than the prior. That's like literally in like 100 years of doing this research, we are seeing cognitive decline for young adults. They're tying it directly to the amount of time and energy students are on screens, for example.
I was going to say that's got to have everything to do with their phones.
They saw exactly. And so it's our attention span, it's our ability to process information, it's our ability to then put together complex concepts, right? And so my passion area is there's a class that I happen to support regularly that gives students what you might want to say is like an anti-screen, right?
Okay.
It's a physical instrument that students play with other students in the room where they have to listen to each other. They have to pay attention in a different way than maybe they've ever done in their lives. They get to make this amazing thing happen where they learn a process, they learn songs, and they play these songs, and they learn essentially a whole nother language. And so it hit me as I was watching this report or this person present this. And I was like, I'm just so fortunate to be part of an ecosystem of people who have made the opportunity to play music possible.
Yeah.
Our educators and their community, these dedicated professionals who work so diligently to give students these chances, our services allow that to be a maximized opportunity. And I think it helps students develop to their highest level. It's always a bit challenging, right? Is it correlation or is it causation? But we do know this, all the best performing schools have vibrant arts programs.
Yeah, right.
And when we look at, there's a lot of movement in schools right now to right size the screen time, right? There's this huge push, put technology into everything. We all know the students have technology everywhere now. They don't really need it. I mean, when we were younger, it was, I had to look it back up, that typing class, Mavis.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Cover our hands and all the stuff we had to learn. And like students are just coming into the classroom with a whole different level of technological understanding compared to what we had when we were in our middle school and formative years. They don't need that support. We almost have to undo it, slow it down, give them something tactile. Yeah. Right. And give them something completely different to allow their brains to expand and explore. And that's a pretty exciting thing.
Well, that's huge, especially with like, as fucky as AI is getting, you know what I mean? It's like the fact that people can just plug stuff in and have, I'm going to call it music for lack of a better word. Yeah. Right. Same thing with art. I'm going to call it art for lack of a better word. I don't think it's actually either of those things. Mm-hmm. It's just ones and zeros and bullshit stacked on top of each other. Mm-hmm. Man, it feels like it's more important now than ever for these programs to be in schools.
Mm-hmm. There's certain music that's very easy to recreate via AI, the formula-based music.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that it's bad per se, but it doesn't expand or explore. It ties back to what we were talking about before. That's following the recipe. Yeah. The recipe exists. It will be good. Why? Because it will be good. But it's not risky. It's not interesting. It doesn't have an edge to it or a perspective. But it hits what people want, which is why I'm noticing with some of the AI produced music, I'm like, it's perfect for background music.
Yeah.
It's so neutral, but that's already been happening with so much of our music anyway, even before AI. Every music genre seems to be, if you're looking at the popular space especially, it's all merging to essentially the same sound. We used to have such distinct sounds in rock and roll, distinct sounds in country music, distinct sounds with places like pop music even was separated, but now it's all essentially, it's like, oh my, you have so many songs with the same beat, same concept, same genres, right? Overlapped into these sounds. So I think AI just naturally just hopped into that train, but no one's ever going to say that was the best song of the year,
right?
Or that pushed the boundary.
We certainly hope not.
Well, it just won't. And if it does, then that's a benefit to all of us. Cause like, cool, we're producing better, more interesting things faster, but I don't want to be afraid of it. Although I do get anxious.
I get a little anxious too.
But it's like, I don't want to be afraid of things that are positive. It's just when we're seeing that being vanilla, it's like, well, that doesn't help us. It didn't necessarily hurt us. It just took streams away from the vanilla artist anyway. And I'm like, whatever.
I feel like too, when I look at music, like you can very much like look at music created in the 60s and you can say that was created in the 60s, that was created in the 70s, 80s, 90s. Correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I feel like once we got to like 2000, 2010 or something, at least popular music kind of stopped progressing.
Correct. And you can't tell what genre it is anymore.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was talking
Yeah, and it's the same thing. And I feel like this isn't going to make it better.
I wish I could remember the name of the book. It's a great book, History of Music in the last 50 years for like a number of genres, but no question. The movement of sound over time and the benefit we had of that sound evolving. And I do think it still is. And I think we actually have more of it than maybe we've ever had access to ever before. Right, what a positive thought process there. Right?
Yeah, but like quantity over quality isn't necessarily the move.
No, but I'm just saying there's more artists than ever before that can be found because of our access.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of artists that would have never even been heard that might slide into somebody's algorithm and therefore becomes a little more popular. And then maybe you can even have an expansion moment, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Sometimes like, well, I didn't get to see the underground person. I'm like, well, shouldn't be underground. Their music's awesome.
Yeah. This episode is supported by Creative Mornings Grand Rapids, our local chapter in the world's largest face-to-face creative community. Creative Mornings believes everyone is creative and everyone is welcome. Their monthly lecture series is free and spans over 240 cities across 69 countries. Visit creativemornings.com to see what's going on with your local chapter. And by Review, West Michigan's arts and entertainment guide. Find out what's going on in the world of local music, art, dining, events, and more with print magazines at over 500 locations, a weekly newsletter, and online stories at reviewwm.com. And by Merchants and Makers, a collective of local artists, makers, and small businesses. Merchants and Makers puts on markets across West Michigan, connecting people with real artists and makers at events that include food trucks, live music, and local shopping. Visit merchantsandmakers.com for information on upcoming events and how to get involved. Something that I found really interesting is that between food and music, like those are like two of the most communal inventions from humans ever.
Yeah, definitely. That's probably one of my passions with food. Makes people happy.
Yeah.
You know, and again, it's just been some exploration. And I think long term, my hope is to be more of that private, specialized work for people.
Yeah.
It's not being a chef, it's being a cook. It's taking advantage of skills learned over time and creating a space for people to have a great experience. And that communal aspect, it's just, it feels really good to bring people together, watch them be joyful. We had a chance to do that for my sister, and it was super fun. We had the chance to make food that I think really hit what she loved and her friends loved. And so this is my fiance's with me. She was working more like what we'd call like front of house in that situation. I'm doing the plating, and there's something to be said about the music's on and they are just laughing, having the night of their life. Or at least the night of a while. You know, it's like maybe not another like maybe I shouldn't inflate it.
It's like the food was pretty good.
The food was good. Yeah, I would say the food was great. I really did take it serious. I thought about it for a long time. And again, I hit that creative edge. I was able to try some new things, repeat a couple dishes, which that is not my norm. I usually don't repeat a lot of the food.
What'd you do?
That meal was Italian inspired. She has always wanted to go to Italy, and I know they will at some point, but there's kind of this idea, let's bring them to Italy in January.
I love that.
Yeah, it was super fun. Started with a crudo that involved a lot of different ingredients I'd never made before. That one felt risky. I kind of warned them ahead of time. I'm like, I don't know, guys, I think it's going to be really good. And interesting, the one guy gave me perfect feedback because I totally agreed with him. He said, I think it needed more green apple. And I thought I totally agreed with him because the one that I ate, my leftovers, had all the leftover stuff and it had way more green apple compared to his. And I was like, you're right. I ate mine. It was right. It was right. The ratio was better. And then,
you do okay with the criticism?
Yes. I used to not. Because I don't know what that was. You know what I mean? Being younger.
I don't fucking like criticism either. I'm 41 and I don't like people being like, well, it should have been red.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I used to definitely not handle it well. There's certain days I probably still don't. Mm-hmm. I also have just come to realize I have enough confidence in what I'm doing to be like, it was good to me.
Yeah. I mean, and that's kind of really the only checkbox, right?
It was good to me. And I'm usually the things they say, I'm like, I actually have already thought about that with certain aspects of it. And then why not try to take the feedback and maybe hear someone out? And it's a different palette. It's a different experience.
Yeah.
I like dinners that have multiple courses so that if it's a little bit of a whiff for one person, it doesn't matter. We got another one coming.
Yeah.
That's the danger, obviously, with like the big one thing. It's like, and I'm doing one thing today, by the way. So it's either going to be good or it's going to suck. And we're going to deal with it, right? And
I'm just going to tell you it's great.
it's not going to be bad. That was what we talked about before. I know it won't be bad, but again, it's a new dish. It's got a concept. It's a fun story.
Tell me the story.
Tell you the story. So I talked to you the other day, and one of the things I really enjoyed doing, I didn't get all the way through all the dishes, and that's fine. That first dish for the meal we made was probably the most out there, and then the rest was just really trying to hit foods I know she wanted.
Okay, great.
In this case, we talked, and one of the things I really enjoyed doing is thinking about what is something special. You talked about it earlier that food is very communal. It's very celebratory. Music is the same way. So it's like making someone food to me is, well, who are you? What do you want? What's your story? So remember I asked you, what are a couple important things to you? Like when you were growing up, what would be a meal? And you told me spaghetti. Yeah. And I love that. Tell me a little bit more about that in this conversation.
It was kind of the go-to, right? It was like, it was cheap. You know what I mean? It was delicious. And dude, I remember it was always spaghetti with like red meat sauce.
Basic.
Yeah,
Classic.
very basic. Out of a jar, ragu or whatever. And there was always white bread and butter.
Okay.
It's just sliced bread.
Yeah.
And a glass of milk.
Okay.
And that was a pretty standard.
About once a week?
Yeah.
Regular enough.
Yeah.
That it's almost like no one's surprised.
Right. Yeah. But it was like also one of those, it's like, oh, fuck, Dad made spaghetti.
Yeah. It's going to be good.
Yeah. We're fucking with this.
Yep. Today's going to be good.
And then the really special thing is that my mom was, she's very much alive. My mom is,
but this is when you were younger.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It was in that sense, makes sense.
Yeah, she knows her way around the kitchen, but not everything she did stood up. But man, her pot roast, it was like when she busted that thing out with the potatoes and the carrots and the onions and that was where she shined.
That's the celebratory meal.
Yeah.
Right. That was the bigger deal. Maybe someone was coming over.
Yeah. Or if I go home now for like a birthday or something, it's like, we're making pot roast.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. So I made you neither of those things.
Awesome.
But I sort of made you both of those things. Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but I am excited.
Okay. So what I did is I had beef cheeks that I've had in my freezer for a while, and I didn't know what I was going to do with
Also
them.
a new nickname.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Perfect. So I had beef cheeks in the freezer, and I knew I wanted to braise them in some form. Had no idea. I just picked them up at the butcher when I was there because I was like, cool, you have beef cheeks, and they're in the freezing section. So I just grabbed them. When you told me, because you had told me two things, spaghetti and the pot roast. I was like, perfect. Beef cheeks, that hits the pot roast side, right? We're talking slow braised beef. We're going to get in that space. The spaghetti side, we're going to be eating more of an Asian noodle dish. That is those braised beef cheeks that I braised in. It was like 10 onions. So
love that.
This is caramelized down to just a puddle of beef, shiitake mushrooms, and onions.
Yeah.
With a number of different vinegars and sauces that I wanted to add into that. I also, when I was gone last week, we were traveling, we were in France. This chef made a dish that to me felt like he had made French onion soup, and he had fused it with a lot of different of those aromatics. Specifically, it tasted like lemongrass to me. So I wanted to tie in what I tasted last week into this dish. So there's a lemongrass component in here. And because those onions have caramelized down all the way down, they're essentially French onion soup level. They're gone. They're just in here. They're just
I love it.
And we're going to add then this. I'm going to chop this basil up. I'm going to add these green onions. So we're going to boil. Water should be getting there pretty soon. It's in process. We'll boil those noodles up. We'll toss it in that braised beef, which is, again, you're not spaghetti, not pot roast, but kind of both. That's too many. It's just way too many. I just can't get that.
You know, something else I love about the combo of music and food is I think in a lot of ways it can be really healing.
It is actually very interesting right now because of the nature of the podcast. I don't have music on with you right now.
I know.
And that's okay. That's just very abnormal in this home. There's going to be music on pretty much every time you walk in or most of the time when you enter the house. And this topic actually came up with someone who was doing some work here. And they're like, they had said to me, wow, you listen to pretty calm folk music. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, it makes me feel good.
I'm trying to stay calm. It's the middle of the work day.
Yeah.
And I was here so that they could get into my house, and I was doing things that none of it was actually making me feel calm. So I had calm music on. And then he was like, oh, I usually listen to like higher energy music, keeps me going through the day. And I said, I totally get that. Sometimes you need that pump up music. But I did ask him, is it positive for you? Does it create positive energy for you? Or does it make you more agitable? So the power of music, right? Sometimes we want to be agitated. Sometimes we need to be calmed down. Sometimes we just want to be bopping and feeling great, right? Because we want to have that party energy. Music will get you there in a hurry.
Is that a conscious thing for you, or is it something that just kind of...
The type of music?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. What am I in the mood for? What mood am I trying to get to is important to me when it comes to that energy. And the type of music that I listen to is always going to have that movement. And I like that. And I like that at a party, you can feel different. I like that when you're at home by yourself, you can feel different. I like that all those things can be true. Sometimes when you're home by yourself, you want to put the party music on. Party one.
That's a real thing.
It's a real thing, and you need to feel good, and you need to feel that energy because you need to get moving a little bit.
You got to throw those hips around.
Yeah, and we all know this, but this happened like 2 days ago when it was 65 and sunny. I was blasting the pop music in my car. Just absolutely blasting it.
What were you playing?
Carly Rae, because that's always the go-to.
Okay. Love that.
Unapologetic Carly Rae Jepsen fan.
Love that.
She's amazing. And she, for whatever reason, had that monster hit, and then everyone thought she was a one and done, and it's like a lot of her best songs came after that. She continues to churn out great music. Okay, so there's your Aaron's.
Oh, man. Joe, get that. Get a shot of that.
I'm in there.
There's Aaron's pot roast. So real talk, it's like, how do I feel about things? I don't love the mushrooms in this. I'm going to be curious how you guys feel. I actually don't want to, I probably shouldn't even have said that because I'm now potentially moving the needle for you guys, but don't be afraid to be like, I like the mushrooms in there. That's not going to hurt my feelings one way or the other. I just feel like it might be hiding that caramelized onion flavor I was trying to create. That's a lot of onions.
There's so many onions in there.
They're not there anymore. They're just brown now.
I'm into it.
It's not going to suck.
Let me take this baby for a spin.
Yeah, it's not going to suck.
It doesn't suck. Wish it didn't have mushrooms in it, though.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
What do you think, though? I think it's strong.
I honestly, I don't think they're as strong as
That's because I took
you were leading on.
I took like 75% of them out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. One of the other things that terrifies me about a restaurant, maybe not terrifies, it's not the right thing. I don't know. Yeah. When I think about a restaurant, and it would still be true if I was doing the private cooking, like legitimately doing that, where I was charging for it, etc.
Yeah.
But I don't want to have to worry about so much certain aspects of like, did I store it right? Where did it come from?
Yeah, right.
I mean, I get why we have those rules, but I also am like, that's stressful. Like, I'm going to do this right for you guys. I don't want anyone to be hurt by my food ever because that's not cool. But
that's also like a terrifying notion.
Yeah, it's like talk about respect for the restaurant industry, the things they have to deal with there.
Is that like a quick pickle?
I wouldn't even call these pickled. I'd just say I'm trying to cut them a little bit.
Okay.
I want them raw. I don't quite want them pickled, but that vinegar and that acid is going to take an edge off of them, so they still might give us flamethrower breath, but at least we have a chance here.
Yeah.
But I also want them to taste very shalloty.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want them to taste cooked because we have, again, like just a catastrophic amount of caramelized onions in here already. So, same thing with green onions. We're just going in raw with those. Don't have to cut those. That lesson was free.
All right.
Joel, are you drinking a beer too?
I am.
Are you drinking that one?
No, you have this one.
Well, are you going to drink the same beer though?
No, because I'm out of them.
Okay, got it. Okay, got it.
Matter of fact, I'm not, because I don't have it.
Okay, very good.
Joey, why don't you put that camera away and grab your food and pop over here and enjoy it with us?
I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
It's good.
You know what's funny is that, like, I watched, like, a lot of, like like food stuff on Instagram.
So do I.
And then like when you see someone take a bite and they go, oh, it's so good. I'm like, you bitch. You're just doing the same thing over and over, but that's literally just the reaction I just had.
I liked your reaction. Made me feel good inside.
Oh, good.
I can handle the criticism, but I definitely prefer this is really good. That's always better.
I love that.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about it here for a second. What I like that it really hit, it does feel very much like pot roast to me. Weirdly, because we're eating a noodle dish, but it feels like that beef cheek. That's killer. I've never used beef cheek before. That's really good.
Dude, this is outstanding.
Thank you.
If anybody's watching on video, I mean, you can see how good this looks. Where's my camera? You can see how good this looks.
I like the mushroom. I like that a lot.
Good. I like it as well,
I do need some of this.
but I didn't want it to be a mushroom dish.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be a caramelized onion dish.
Oh, perfect timing.
I think I'm blacked out now. Can't even see.
Yeah,
it.
you are. We'll get it fixed.
So I don't know.
Did that fix it?
No.
This is what I like to do.
Easy girl.
Completely off the dome. Never made it before. But yes, I've braised meat a bunch of times, so I'm not scared to do it.
Yeah.
Like I know what to do to make the components. It's like, are the components going to get happy together?
Oh, that one's...
All right, we got some lights. Ready to go topic hopping?
Yeah. Give me a second.
All right. Quick thing. Real sharp turn. Okay? When you're gone, what do you hope people say about you?
Oh, that's the first question.
That's the first question, baby.
So when I'm gone, what do I hope people say about me? That I was kind. And I was...
Fuck, we're not using the lights.
What about it? We're here still.
Yeah.
And I was reliable. I don't know if that's important to everybody, but I want to be really known as a reliable person. And it's not that I've always been great at that all the time, but that'd be a cool thing to be remembered by. Also, whatever happened to Jimmy Stewart at the end of It's a Wonderful Life, I want that done for me.
Not asking that much.
I'm not asking that much. I just want everybody in town to show up and give a couple bucks to a charity of my choice. And somehow end in the equivalent of me who's still alive crying every time.
Sure.
That's all I want.
Finish the thought.
Okay.
Creativity requires
Freedom. Freedom of opportunity, space, the ability to breathe. That whatever the opposite of, again, I go back to what I was talking about earlier, where it's like the recipe is correct, but it constrains.
What would your last meal be?
Oh, man. It's got to be pizza, but that's probably wrong. Maybe a taco. I don't know. That's terrible. Got to be pizza.
What is the worst or the best advice you've ever received?
Man, I've had so many good people in my life give me good advice. Hard to narrow to a best. I thought this was good advice. This has always stuck to me. I had a teacher I was teaching with. My first job was in education. And he had already gone through an entire career in New York City area in finance, exited that career, moved out with his family to Arizona. So essentially he was retired teaching economics. And he said everybody, when they're young, should live in New York City or Chicago or San Francisco. And I lived in Chicago area, near suburb. L-Line still ran their city, right? I lived there for 2 years, and I think he was spot on. It is different living in a major city of that nature and feeling that. So that's like an interesting one, right? That was a good, interesting advice. Like, hey, you're going to decide what you want to do with your life. And I'm out in Yuma, Arizona at the time. And he's like, you should live in one of these 3 cities for a while. Doesn't mean you have to live there forever, but you should go feel that.
Yeah.
And it was different. It was a different experience to get up at 5:30 in the morning just so you could get on the highway and it wasn't jammed up. Right. And some people be like, I hate this, but I loved it. I was like, look at all these people doing stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So there's 2 ways to look at it. Like, oh, I got to get in that. It's like, but look at everybody doing stuff. And so now, if anything, at this stage of my life, I might actually have more of an inverse where you kind of careen towards the comfortable.
Yeah.
That created more of a, you had to have an attitude of, got to get this. I like that. Good advice. It was interesting. I don't know. What was your exact question? Best advice or?
Best or worst?
I'm going to call that a interesting piece of advice I once received. And I'd like to share that with those of you listening today.
Love that. What would your walk-up song be?
If I'm messing with the crowd, I'm probably like Bon Iver. Because I would love it.
You're like, it's a little.
Which I'm probably not messing with the crowd, but this came up again. I'm probably doing Carly Rae. I'm doing Run Away With Me, Carly Rae.
What makes you feel most like yourself?
Probably being on the water. I love being on Lake Michigan. I love being around Lake Michigan. I know we've had some chances to be out on the water together.
You're my boat friend.
Yeah. And I'm really grateful we have what I would describe as a great, reasonable boat that allows me to not worry so much if I bump it on a dock or put it on the bottom.
Yeah.
And it fits people and we can go out and have fun. But Lake Michigan is really, really important to me. And it's no surprise where I live.
Yeah.
And so the ability here to get into the woods and walk, I did it today actually. So, you just go when your exercise can be part of where you want to be. What a great feeling.
Yeah, God, that's killer.
It really is. And so I definitely take advantage of that as many times as I can.
Do you have any regrets?
Always. Don't we? All?
Yeah.
Do I have any regrets? Wow. That's not a great life mindset though, is it? And I do try, and that's an active choice to not live in that mindset, even though I know I can fall into that trap. So if anything, I can dwell in that too much. And I've noticed that as I've aged, I have to intentionally accept the path forward.
That's not an easy place to get.
No, but the path forward gives us a chance to then make best decision now going forward. So if I chose door 1 and I probably should have chosen door 2 in retrospect, giving myself enough grace to say, but at the time, with what I knew and what I had access to, I made a right choice, or at least I made a decent choice. And giving myself enough grace, I think you have to do that. And I think that life has taught me that.
That's so awesome.
So yes, of course, we all have regrets, but don't beat ourselves over it. That would be my bit of advice. Don't beat yourself up over it.
I love that.
Move forward, make the best of where you are, make a best opportunity out of what you got.
Last question I have for you.
That's it? I don't want to be done with questions. Questions are fun.
I know it is fun. But are you okay?
Yeah, very good. Probably best I've been in a lot of years.
And I don't want to cut you off, but I do want to say I've known you for
about a decade-ish, on off, right?
Fuck, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That just blew up my whole brain.
Needs time.
But
I understand.
Yeah. But I'll say the Joel Hoekstra I'm looking at right now is the happiest version that I've ever seen. And I fucking love that.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. There's no follow-up. There's no story there. I just wanted to say it.
No, and maybe that's why, why we're here and I feel good cooking. I'm not so worried about it. I can put my heart into it and I'm like, it's going to be good because I feel good, right? If we can let ourselves feel good, we produce our best product. It's not easy. We're still going to have, you just asked me a second ago, we're still going to have regrets. We're going to still have things we wish we did different, and maybe it's just the product of, you live just long enough, you start realizing maybe I should ask for forgiveness or be kind to a person that I maybe did something to a little faster.
Right.
Things clean up differently, feel good about it. So, well, thank you for the kind words though.
Well, yeah, that's what you get for being a
It's because I fed you the noodles.
It's the noodles. It's more of a noodle thing than anything
And one of the things we've learned today, everybody, is if you give Aaron noodles, he thinks you're great.
that's black and white. 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah.
All right, man, before we get out of here, where can people find what you're doing?
What I'm doing? Oh, that's, I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. That's such a great question because you have so many people on this awesome podcast where you can tell them, point them towards things. I'm currently, and I have at least one person that has me doing the dinner this summer. So for me personally, I don't really think I'm ready to launch that whole concept.
Yeah.
One, I'm still working full time where I'm at. So let's tie back to that. Here's my thing that I hope everybody does. If you've got a young person in your life and they're hitting that grade, whether it's 5th grade at your school or 6th grade at your school, where they have a chance to start in a band or orchestra program, I can't encourage you enough to have them try. It's okay if they don't stick with it. We obviously hope they do, but just give it a chance. Maybe it's not your normal family legacy. We have hundreds of families who tell us, we have never done this before. We have no idea what this is about because we didn't play in school. And we tell them it's okay. 1, your teacher is going to be your teacher, and that's going to be great. And 2, we've got you. We're going to make this as easy as possible. That's our role, right? So that's my thing probably is where can you find Don't worry about me. Help your kids play music because there's joy in it and there's fun in it, and it'll help expand their minds in spaces and hopefully find relationships and friends they've probably never thought they could make relationships with. So that's my pitch. Find that.
Amazing, dude. Thank you for having us over to your home.
Yeah.
Thank you for making us a delicious meal.
Yeah. Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Let's get out of here.
Sure. Yeah. Eat more noodles.
Getting tired of hearing all these noises in my head. I can't seem to make them go away.
Bad Idea Social Club is an independent podcast made possible by merch sales, reviews, and listener support, and is created and hosted by me, graphic designer Aaron McCall, and co-hosted by photographer Joe Madison. Music is Noises by Mike Mades in the Branches. Get Bad Idea Social Club wherever you get your podcasts.